RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all.
Hi.
It's Thursday and we's thirsty and it's bloody happy hour.
Oh, keep it going, girl. Keep it going.
Who are you?
I'm Caroline.
And I'm April.
Oh my gosh, so nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm very comfy today.
Carol, we switched
I just
spots.
wanted everybody to see who, by the way, you can see us on YouTube.
Yeah, if you haven't,
Then that's upsetting.
you should. Nashville is where I went this weekend, y'all.
Never been.
I am a very proud Texan, and it's hard for me to give any other state their props ever, but I love me some Nashville.
Why?
It's my newest love. Listen, when you're 40 and living your best life, actually I'm 41 as of last week, Nashville's the place to be.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
There's this Las Vegas, ain't got nothing on Nashville. Bourbon Street, ain't got nothing on Nashville. 6th Street, Fort Worth Stockyards, I don't know, that's the only places I've been that I can compare it to. Ain't got nothing on Broadway Street in Nashville.
You heard it here first, people.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Let's count how many different positions I'm going to sit in today.
When I was there, I actually did a little true crime like I always do. And I went by former football player Steve McNair's house.
Oh, and then I looked him up, and that's when he got shot by his
psycho side
piece number 1, and then he had side piece number 2, which he only got shot by 1.
Yeah. So that is a story that is coming up. You can Google it. It was actually tragedy, national news. But I had to go to his condo, not his house. He had a house, but he also had a condo. And so that's where I went. So you could probably look at my Facebook page and see that. I'll put it on Bloody Happy Hour's Facebook page.
Okay, good.
And then I also found out when I got back is that Jelani Day's dad, remember we talked about in the episode? Mm-hmm. He was the match.
Oh, for his,
match.
Yeah.
He lost his battle.
Now, were they still married and everything?
They were still married. They were still together. So
oh my God, that's poor mama.
I know. I was just thinking about the mom. She lost her son, and then her husband, and within a year.
Was he sick? I mean, he was.
Obvious.
Yeah.
I
didn't know if he was like in
transfusions,
or like if he was in remission, or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes your immune system's so zapped at that point.
And it makes me think about like if Jelani was here, would he still be able to be? I don't know. But remember, John Alani was his donor.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sad.
I have a little bit of Court TV Corner. Well, let me start off by saying it's kind of like sad, but this is a funny part of this. So there was the case of the Parkland, the Nicholas Cruz, who was the shooter of the Parkland school shooting from 2018.
Oh.
The name sounds familiar, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But so he like did the school shooting. He shot and murdered 17 people. So his trial is coming up, but they are doing their jury selection right now.
Ooh.
So as they're going through this jury selection, this little clip went viral. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just Let me just play this
All right.
for you. Let me see if I can play the good one.
Okay, I'm not. Question?
Yes, please.
And hold on, let me find your name. Miss Bristol.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm reading. So it's a whole entire month. First of all, let me clarify myself.
Okay.
July 7th is my birthday, the 4th is my son, the 18th is my other son. So that ain't gonna work off for me. Then I'm gonna realize.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Don't talk too fast, please. We have to be able to understand. So you said that the July, there's dates in July that you're not available. What are those
July
dates?
7th, July 4th, which is closed, and July 18th. But then again, I need to figure out something. I have my sugar daddy that I see every day.
I'm sorry?
My sugar daddy.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but
Well, I'm married and I have my sugar daddy. And I
Okay.
see him every day.
all right,
I
ma'am,
see
we'll
it.
come back to you, okay? Thank
Solo.
you.
I got my sugar daddy.
Wait,
So-
was she supposed to be on the jury?
So she was on, like, being selected. I guess she's in front of the judge being asked about her available dates.
Yeah.
But she was like, well, I can't do this day, or this day. And then, I got my sugar daddy. So I don't know what I'm going to do because I got to go see my sugar daddy every day. And the judge, her face. So the judge, she a white girl.
Okay.
She's actually real. I've never seen a judge that's like, she looks young and she's really pretty.
Okay.
Usually it's like old white men.
Yeah.
But she was like, huh? Wait, I got to come back to you. Needless to say,
Did she get selected?
she got out of it.
Okay, she got a
Because she
sugar
got a
daddy.
sugar daddy.
Oh hell! Next time I can't do something, I'm gonna say I gotta see my sugar daddy.
I see
every
my
day.
sugar daddy. Apparently that works.
First, I need a sugar daddy.
But I had to tell you that because I thought it was so funny. And whenever
I
that
love
case
it.
comes out, well, I'll be all over it.
Update
I'll be
us.
watching. And then we got an update yesterday about the Gabby Petito case.
Oh,
She back, guys. She ain't going away.
She is not.
So there's an issue with Brian Laundrie's parents and Gabby's parents. So what the Petitos are saying is that the Laundries knew that Brian murdered Gabby and they didn't say anything about it and they hid it. So now they are coming back and they are filing a lawsuit. So the Petitos are filing a lawsuit against the Laundries. And they're basically saying he knew about it. They knew about it and they didn't say anything. I don't know what the whole, how all that works, but the attorney for the Laundries tried to say it couldn't work because of whatever, the like attorney-client privilege or something like that, I guess. But it's not to say that they are 100% going to trial. It's just saying they're attempting to take the lawsuit to trial. And if it did, it would happen in like a year.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'll probably be a while. That's hard because you got mom and daddy, like that's their son, no matter what he did.
Yeah, but we know what he did. What was your...
Right. Oh, we know what he did.
We know daddy killed him? That's what you thought?
Oh, yeah. That's still my thing. But I'm going back to like, even though they knew what their son did, they held that in because it was their son. I'm not saying it's okay. If it was my son, I'd be like, well, what is it that you made your bed, you lie in it. I'll put some money on your books, maybe, if I got some money. But they just held it in. And then for too long.
Well, then they like blocked the mom and the dad were calling them, remember? And they like wouldn't answer the phone call. They wouldn't talk to him. And this was like before even they had an attorney.
That's why I still think dad was the ultimate bully of every, like he taught Brian how to be a bully. I think mom is just not an innocent victim, but like is victimized by the dad. So I think dad killed Brian when he found out Brian killed Gabby.
You think he went out there and shot him?
Yes, on the camping trip.
But that was two different spots. Oh.
Yeah, and then they killed him on the camping trip.
Oh.
They put him wherever. That's
we
why
go.
he went straight to his body.
That's how they...
And then mom like would get her ass beat if she was a victim. So she just didn't say anything. She just put her hat down and like planted her tomatoes.
She literally did put her hat down and
Put her
went
hat
and
down.
straight into that garden.
Planted her tomatoes.
Probably planted like his finger.
And dad wouldn't let her talk. I think it's Mr. Laundrie.
And then the
Period.
sister had to come out and lie. Because she came out and talked to those reporters. Whew. Anyway, we'll keep you updated because there's some juicy stuff.
Okay, story number 1, 2, 3 of WTF month is the story of Alonzo Brooks. Do you know it? Do you know it? Do you know it?
I don't think I do, but I did look up a lot of stories when I was trying to figure out which one to do for the second episode, and I feel like I came across him.
You probably did.
Was it very similar to Jelani Day?
I mean,
You basically
similar,
did the same story.
Similar because he's black.
Oh, okay.
That's.
But
I don't know. You tell me.
No, wait. Oh gosh, I feel like I do know which one it is, but I can't remember exactly.
Well, let me tell you the story. So this kid's name is Alonzo, and this happens in Kansas.
Okay.
So Alonzo Brooks is born in 1980. His mama was Maria Ramirez, and his daddy was Billy Brooks. Throughout, I didn't hear much from Dad, so I have to believe that Dad might have been estranged.
Oh, okay.
Or not as involved as Mom is. Alonzo was half black and half Hispanic, just like me.
Panda? That's black, white, and Asian. White Nation. Never mind. Is that right? Isn't that what panda means?
I don't know what panda means.
I thought it meant you're black, white, and Asian.
Maybe. I've always been called a Heinz 57.
Oh, that's a mix. That's like a bunch of shit mixed together.
Yeah.
Like ketchup. You basically ketchup.
I'm ketchup. He was the youngest of 5 kids and was teased by his older brother because he was coddled a lot. When you're the baby, you're coddled the most,
for
right?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So his big brother would get on his mom for like spoiling him and coddling him because he was like, the world is harsh and I need him to be tough, right? So Lonzo also went by Zoe. He was polite. He was very fashionable, and he was very neat and very particular where he would iron every garment of clothing that he had on, like starch down, like he had to have that crease. He would even iron his money. Have you ever ironed your money?
No, I don't even have an iron. Who has an iron? Do you have an iron?
Oh, yeah, because Soupy irons.
Oh, he probably does.
He irons. If
is
he
a
can't
cowboy.
get it to the cleaners, he irons and starches it.
I don't even know. That's like you spray that stuff on it?
Yeah, I knew you weren't black.
No, but listen, I always watch my housekeepers. They would have starch.
Your current
Or
ones
my
are
grandma.
growing up?
Or grandma.
Your nanny growing up?
Listen, I was raised by Lola.
Privileged.
It was not
Such a privileged
It was 0% privilege because while my mom was at work, we had Lola living Lola.
You're actually, yeah.
Listen, she went out to the car and she would come back with her hair all
We might need
disheveled.
to interview Lola about when you actually came to the family. She might know more about your kidnapping.
I probably came from her family. She probably.
You might be Chicana. That's what it is.
It's making so much sense.
That's
life.
what it is.
I'm the real Heinz 57.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get so off. Okay. So he ironed his money. He loved the color red. He loved the Kansas City Chiefs. He loved Budweiser beer, and he loved Newport cigarettes.
And he's white. I mean, he's black.
And he's black.
Okay.
Well, black people smoke Newports. Budweiser is very much a country fishing beer. I almost got
He kind of
some.
sounds like a little sweet pea.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
No. Okay, no.
He was very athletic. He loved sports. He had tons of friends, and he was always laughing and joking. He grew up in Topeka, Kansas, which is the capital of Kansas. But later they moved to Gardner, Kansas, which is like a little bitty small town. So it was a big change for him because he was used to city life, and now he's like in the country.
Yeah.
And there he worked at a maintenance / janitorial service in Gardner. He had a bunch of friends there. So this is April 3rd, 2004. A couple of his friends called him up, and Alonzo's not a partier. Like, he doesn't usually go to parties. He's more like a homebody. But they called him up, and they're like, you got to come to this party. You got to come. And for some reason, he decided to go.
Yeah.
Probably because he's in Gardner, Kansas, and there ain't shit else to do.
No. Yeah.
So friends came to pick him up. And all his friends were white boys. There was Justin, there was Dan, and there was another boy. I never found his name, Willie Fufu. So Justin, Dan, and Willie Fufu.
Okay.
Yeah, I just made that up.
Okay.
See how gullible she is, y'all. This was no big deal to his friends and him because it was common for him to be the only brown person with his white friends. Like, it's common for me. Every time we've had a sleepover or gone anywhere, me or me and you are the only brown people that are there. And so they were going to a party about 50 miles away to a place called LyCygne in Kansas. He gave his mom a hug and he said, "Hey, I'll be back later." She told him to bundle up because it's Kansas and it's April, still kind of cold. He wore his beanie and they went. So he drove with Justin, and then Dan and Willie Fufu were in another car. And the party was at a farmhouse about an hour away. Still normal, I feel like there's pasture parties all the time. Yeah. There's usually keggers, there's fires, bonfires, whatever. But now they're going to this party in LyCygne, but it's known as a racist town, supposedly.
Another white flag flare. What was it called?
He's not a sundown. Yeah. Sundown.
Okay. I was saying flag fair. Oh, God.
Vocabulary is on point. Okay, so first I was like, why would these guys take him to a party in a town that is known a racist town? But
they were his friends. Did they know?
Yeah, they knew. Well, it's just a known racist town. Oh. But I had to think about when you're not racist, you don't really think about everybody else being racist, I guess. Like, it's hard to, like, they didn't think, oh, we better not take him to this town, to this party in this town. They were just like, oh, he's our friend. Let's go. We want him to go with us. So at first people kind of like condemned them for taking him there. But if you really think about it, you're young. You don't think about stuff like that. So they came to the party, and remember, Alonzo's really reserved. He's not really outgoing, but what I think is that he had some beers on the way. So he got out of the car, and there's about 100 people at this pasture party. It's a house. People are in the house. People are around the house. He gets out, and he's like, "Who wants a beer?" And he's got his Budweiser.
He's like Cameron.
Like case. Who's Cameron?
He was like the token black guy at the party.
Yeah, but who's Cameron?
He was in West. He was
Oh.
I didn't know if you knew Cameron. I mean, you know.
Well, and he was the token black guy. Sweet Pea loves being the token black guy. He actually gets pissed off when another black guy comes in. And the black guy better not be wearing a cowboy hat, too.
No,
because if it's two black cowboys, no. Yeah, still he'll like want to fight. Not really, but really.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So he got out and he was like, "Who wants a beer?" So people kind of gave him like these weird looks, but people went on partying.
Yeah.
And he jumped right into the drinking game. They were probably playing like Circle of Death,
beer pong,
drunk driver, beer pong. And then later into the night, Alonzo's friend Daniel said that he had to intervene on an argument that was about to be physical with Alonzo and another guy. They were in the kitchen of the house. And Daniel, Alonzo's friend, said that it was because of a racial slur. So this guy had said something inappropriate to Alonzo. But they broke up what was going to be a fight. And Alonzo just continued on partying. Like, he wasn't going to let it get him down. He was probably having a blast. Pasture parties have been my funnest parties ever. Right?
You know, people always were like, I wouldn't hate to go back to high school. I would love to go back to high school.
You want to? Just to go to those pasture parties?
I mean, it was such a great time in high school. And college. I'll go back to everything.
Go back.
Take me back.
Okay, so...
pasture party. Yep.
Alonzo, he wasn't worried about it. Like, he just kept on, right? So about an hour later, Daniel and the Willie Fufu got found out there's another party in town.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, hey, Alonzo, let's go to this party. Let's go. We're about to leave. Come with us. And Alonzo was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay here. So Daniel and Willie Fufu left. So now out of Alonzo's 3 friends that are left, only one is there, and that's Justin. But that's who he drove with. So they were like, well, he rode with Justin. It's fine. He'll just leave when Justin leaves, right?
Yeah.
Alonzo didn't have a car. He didn't have a car there with him. So Justin had to been a chain smoker because he had went through his pack of cigarettes and he needed more. And so did Alonzo. So Justin comes to Alonzo and he's like, I need more cigarettes. I'm going to run to the store. Do you need anything? Do you want to go? And Alonzo was like, no, but pick me up some Newports. So there was the agreement. Justin left. Well, when he left, mind you, we're in BFE, long dirt road.
Yep.
Instead of taking a right, he took a left, and that took him to wherever. And he spent like 30 minutes driving all out of the. I've done this before.
Yeah.
And panicked and like had to call somebody to come pick me up because I didn't know where I was. So imagine it being dark. You don't know where you're at, and you've been drinking. Yeah, it's 2004.
Yeah.
Do people have Google Maps then?
No.
Had to have not.
Because I think we had like a Nokia.
MapQuest.
Yes.
It's when you printed up MapQuest.
Yeah, like a damn flip phone or a razor or something.
So he got lost when he realized, and then he got stuck somewhere. So, but they did have cell phones, and he did have service because, according to his interview, he called his friend named Adam, who was at the party, and he called Adam, and he was like, Adam, I'm lost. I got stuck. And it's not just Justin. Justin took another friend with him. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to get out, but if I can't get back there, can you please take Alonzo home? So I'm assuming Adam lives in Gardner or near Gardner to take Alonzo home because remember, they're an hour from home.
Yeah.
So Justin and his other friend get unstuck. And then they go to the gas station like planned. But instead of going back to get Alonzo, they pull out $200 from the ATM.
Okay.
And they go to a strip bar.
Oh, shit.
So maybe they felt like they were like it's too much to try to get back out there. Alonzo's taken care of. Let's just go to a strip bar. So
what a friend.
There's ATM videos or footage that they are there, both of them. And they end up getting kicked out of the
because they're
strip bar because they're plastered and high.
And are they even old enough? Oh, wait. How old are these people?
They're 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they get kicked out. That's where they're at.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that that's the last time anybody sees Alonzo. He does not get a ride with Adam. It's kind of unclear why. And Adam says that when he left, he didn't see Alonzo anywhere. So he assumed Alonzo left with somebody else.
He just like, oh, I can't find him. Bye.
Yeah, let me go.
Yeah.
So nobody has seen him since then. So the next morning was April 4th. And Alonzo's house phone, this is how long ago this was. Alonzo's house phone rang, and it was his friends. And Mama Maria picks up the phone, and they say, hey, where's Alonzo? Did he make it home last night? And Maria had no idea. So she goes into Alonzo's room. He's very particular. They show this room on the documentary, and like the bed's made perfectly. It's like very clean. Looks not like my 20-year-old's room. And her heart drops because he always comes home. So he's not in his room. His friends are looking for him. So she's like, hell no, he's not here. Where is he? Friends start calling other friends. She starts calling other friends. And then she calls his best friend, whose name is Rodney. And
Come on, Rodney.
Rodney, I'm pretty sure, is Snoop Dogg's
Yes.
son. He looks and sounds, and I'm pretty sure smokes weed just like Snoop Dogg does. So she calls Rodney up and she tells Rodney what's going on. Well, Rodney, when he hears the town LyCygne, he is instantly worried. So he calls up Justin and he's like, I need you motherfuckers to take me to where this party was, where y'all left.
Oh,
my
Rodney
best
ain't
friend.
playing.
No. So Justin is like, yes, because the guilt is probably hitting him, right? So Justin and I think Daniel and Rodney, they drive to where the party was.
LyCygne.
In LyCygne, to this farmhouse. And they were like, well, maybe he just got drunk and passed out.
Yeah.
Maybe he's there. Happens. But the house is empty. Like, you couldn't even tell.
Whose property was it?
It was a rental property. So this party was a party of a guy that was supposedly going to the military. Like, he was going to be leaving that next week. And so they're having a big bash for him. Oh. So the house was empty. And so they just kind of searched the land around there. And they're like, well, did he pass out in the grass? It's early in the morning. Well, they didn't find him. And they start walking closer towards the street, the main street.
Yeah.
And Rodney finds a boot.
One boot?
One boot.
Oh, no.
And then walks up and finds Alonzo's beanie. And then on the other side of the road is Alonzo's other boot.
Oh, shit.
So Rodney says later that it seems like somebody threw the garments out the window, when they're driving, because it was something over here, and
so
then
it wasn't directly in front of the.
It was over here. No, the house is back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This was found
On
closer
the main
towards the main road, the main highway. So of course their hearts dropping.
Oh my gosh.
And then here comes some hillbilly.
Oh.
On a 4-wheeler. They had no idea who it was, and he comes up and he's like, y'all ain't welcome here.
Oh, no.
Get off of my property. Get off of this property.
Oh, that is some Ozark shit right there.
That is some Ozark. That is what's the inbred show? Movie with I'm picturing these hillbilly inbreds, with flannel jackets and
Well, that's basically a little bit of Ozark. Mm-hmm.
So as soon as that guy came up, Justin was already scared, but he was like, I made a big mistake leaving Alonzo at this party. So I'm sure, I didn't really go in detail on how that drive back was. I'm sure Rodney was getting on their ass.
Oh,
Because you just, tell me about this. Do you have a buddy system when you go out? Have you ever do you leave somebody at a pasture party where they don't know anybody?
No. No.
No. I was like, let me just make sure. There's a code, I feel like. Now, if it's at a party with...
I'm thinking if it's high school, that's different because you're that's high school. But if it's...
Yeah,
where you
they
don't
might have
know
knew
anybody.
2 people.
Yeah.
Alonzo knew nobody but his crew that he was out there with. Then he had already almost gotten into a fight, and they're calling him a racial slur. So Justin still thought it was a good idea to leave him. But friends did say that he wasn't ready to. They tried to get him to go to this other party, and for some reason he didn't want to go. And that'll kind of come out here towards the end.
But they should have gone back instead of going
to the strip club.
Then they went home after the strip club, I guess.
Yeah, they got kicked out and they went home.
But you probably should go back and get your friend.
Yeah. I agree. So when they got back, they told Mama Maria. And of course, she was scared to death. She was hoping they were going to show up in the driveway and Alonzo would be in the car.
With them, yeah.
So she calls the police and she's like, my son was at a party and we didn't find anything but we can't find him, but we found his boots and his hat and his beanie. They said, oh, How old is he? 23. Call me back in 48 hours.
48?
48 hours. So
That's not even the 24. I mean,
yeah, so I guess you have to be a missing person for 48 hours in Kansas. But then they talk about how the first 48 hours is the most crucial.
yeah.
48 hours. So why would you wait? Okay. So then she's pissed. It's the next day, April 5th. Big brother and his wife are going to LyCygne. And they're like, I need to go to this house. So they go to the house. Again, it's vacant. You can't tell that there was a party with 100 people before. Nobody's there, but they do find out that it's a rental property.
Yeah, they need to do some investigating because obviously these terrible police are not
Yes.
doing any investigating.
Makes you lose so much promise. So they go out there and they find out that it's a rental property. They look in the windows, vacant, it's empty. And it just seems so weird to them that why did they clean up this place? The house is totally empty in not even 24 hours.
I mean, because there's beer cans and stuff all over the place if there's all these people and there's trash, so it's all cleaned up all of a sudden.
And the house is empty. Like, where's the furniture? Where's the dishes? It doesn't make sense. So they're driving into town because it's on the outskirts of LyCygne. They drive into town and they go into the sheriff's office. Well, you have to drive, through town. They're getting dirty looks. They're getting the middle finger. They're getting pointed out because there's these two brown people that are driving through this town that's notoriously racist. They get to the sheriff's office. What did the sheriff do? They tell him the story, and they said, I bet he just went for a walk.
Oh.
How many times have you gone for a walk in BFE when you're drunk, but on your walk, you take off a boot?
Oh, twice.
And another boot.
And my hat.
And
my
your
beanie.
hat.
Yeah, my beanie. Yeah. I've done it only twice. So,
Yeah, probably twice. So
that's
maybe
accurate.
it's accurate.
Yeah, they just went for a walk. They ran away.
And so they were trying to convince him that no, he would not. Like, he's got bad ankles. He has these things in his shoes
He
so
ain't
that
gone
he
for
has
a damn
more
walk.
support.
No, he's not going for a
Who
walk.
goes for a walk on a dirt road anyways?
At like 2 a.m.
No. So they left feeling hopeless. But the sheriff does do a little bit of something. And he calls Deputy Paul Filla out to the property. And he says, go and search this property, please. Just go and search. Where this deputy searched, we don't know. But where he searched, he saw no signs of Alonzo or anyone else. Like, he didn't find any garments. He didn't find Alonzo. And then they went back and they were like, well, we'll let the KBI handle it. So remember, each state has their own FBI. So they turned it over to the KBI, which is probably better. Or we would hope, we would think. So KBI got the case and they're like, oh, wait a minute, stop, hold up, this doesn't sound right. Like, this has to be a hate crime. Like, this kid's just not going to disappear. So, where is he? So I feel like, do due diligence. They call, because there's a creek bed right there by the property. They call an underwater rescue team. They get cadaver dogs. They call helicopters. And total, they do about 6 searches with all these things. Helicopters and nothing. Cadaver dogs, nothing. Like, they don't find anything near the creek, around the creek, on the property. I never got if they checked, like, in the property and, like, there's a shed on the property, if they were able to check, like, inside the house. Or if it was private property.
Did they ever find the owner of the property? I'm just going to try to listen.
Yeah. No. And the owner is actually the one that ends up saying that he doesn't want the family on the property. Like, the police can search, but family can't come search. So out of all these 6 searches, the family is like, can we come help? Can we please come help search? And they were told no.
Why?
The KBI told them no.
Oh.
The local police told them no. And it's not really evident why. Were they told no because they didn't want like family like crowding and like maybe messing up a crime scene? Were they told no because the property owner said no, it's private property and I get a right? I have no idea. But they weren't allowed to for this whole time, and supposedly there were 6 searches. So they also interviewed people from the party. Remember, there were like 100 people there.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of interviews. They even like gave polygraph tests to people that were willing, and nothing, no leads, nothing came up, according to them. And then rumors start, right? What does Miranda Lambert say? Word got out to the barflies and the Baptists.
Excuse me? Wait, what?
Word got out to the barflies and the Baptists.
Quote a damn country song?
My mama's phone started ringing off the hook. Okay.
I mean, I do know
Okay.
her, but I don't know that line. I don't remember it.
So supposedly there was a fight that broke out about 3 or 4 in the morning. It was like a brawl, and he was in the middle of this fight. Whether he was the target, they don't know. But at this time, he had no friends there. Justin, of course, was at the strip club or kicked out by then. And then Adam, who was supposed to take him home, was gone.
And then Weedle Deedle or whoever the other person.
And Willie, they had been
Wonka?
gone. Yeah, Willie Foo and Daniel and them had been gone. So then KBI closed the case.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I think why? But then you have no evidence that there was a murder. So I guess they just assumed that he took off and is a runaway. I don't know. I don't know why you closed the case on something like this, but they did. So the family was like, okay, but we still want to search. Can we please search? Can we please search? Let us get on the property. You don't even have to help us. And for some reason, they got a yes. And it's May 1st. So almost 30 days after this, right?
Mm.
So they get to go on the property, and they have family and they have friends, and they even got like some community volunteers, and they're on the property. And they had been thinking this whole time, I want to check the shed. I want to check the shed. Well, I don't think they were allowed to go in any of the property, but they checked around the shed, and behind the shed was this ravine and then the creek. Well, Karen, her name is her literal name. She's not a Karen.
It sounds
She's
like a
just
Karen already.
She looked over and she saw what she thought was a body. And when she got closer, she saw that it was Alonzo near the creek. And she radioed, and Alonzo's uncle came. So Mama Maria's brother came, and there was Alonzo right there where supposedly the police had searched 6 times.
With helicopters and everything and the dogs?
Helicopters, divers, cadaver
And what are they
dogs.
diving in, a creek?
A creek that was only 3 feet.
That's what I was about to ask you. I didn't
So
want to
they
interrupt,
didn't
but I was
need to
like,
dive.
I used to go in the creek all the time and look at the scorpions and stuff, but there's nobody's going to dive in the creek.
Nobody. So, and that
was literally the first time they even got on the property. They literally walked around the shed and they saw him.
And they did not even think they were going to find him. They thought maybe they would find a wallet, or like a piece of his belongings.
It's literally right there in the open.
His whole body right there in the open. Stay tuned to a word after this break.
Oh my gosh.
And now a word from our sponsors.
RogueCon 23. That's right, it is here. It's not back, it's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
So, where did I leave off? They found his body, right?
Yes, I'm so stressed. I did not expect that.
And they called the uncle. And the uncle was like, of course, devastated. And all he wanted to do is go and like grab his nephew. But he's logical. He was like, I don't want to contaminate any evidence. Good job, uncle. But when they were there, they noticed that Alonzo didn't look horrible. Like, it's 30 days later.
Oh, no.
And he's by a creek bed. But he really wasn't even wet. He didn't look, remember I described Jelani Day, like you couldn't even tell his race because he had been, when you're in the water for so long, it does a lot to your skin, the color, like the tone and everything. He still had his color. There was some decomposition, but it was in specific areas, not like everywhere. So he looked bad, like he would, but not like you would think that he had been outside for forever. So kind of keep that in mind because on the documentary, they talk about that.
Can you tell us what this documentary is? Is it Unsolved Mystery? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Because now I'm going to have to go watch it.
So they knew, they were like, he is such an open spot. How could the police have missed this?
Clearly he wasn't there and somebody moved him over there.
Oh, look at you.
You don't know, I just started becoming the FBI.
Were you part of the KBI?
Yeah.
TBI.
No, it's K.
Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the Texas Bureau of Investigation.
WBI, Waco Investigation Bureau. What? WIB. I'm in the WIB. I'm in at my own club. You want to be in it with me?
Yeah.
Okay,
so they're thinking the same thing. They're like, if the police did 6 searches, how do they miss him? He's literally in plain sight. And
sounds a little suspicious to me.
So they were like, either one, the police didn't do all this searching that they claimed they did,
or
somebody moved him.
Mm-hmm.
Either
police
way,
knew about it the whole time.
It's fishy.
Yeah,
real fishy.
Real fishy. The fishiest I've ever heard.
The fishiest.
Fishy as
AF.
Mm-hmm.
Fishy AF.
We're trying to be PG right now.
Only for a minute.
Just 1 minute.
So, they called police out there, but then they also interviewed the dive team that didn't need to dive. The dive team that did not even need to bring their equipment because the creek bed was 3 feet and clear. So you could see what's on the bottom.
Were they wearing like fins
you
and
could
everything?
See. Yeah. So they called the dive team and the dive team was like, who?
I said wetsuits.
Yes, they should just wore wet shoes. Is all they needed. So,
water shoes. They trudged in their water shoes.
So they were like, the dive team was like, if he was right there where you said, we searched there and we would have saw him. There's no way. Well, if he was in the creek, we would have saw him. If he was on the creek bed, we would have saw him. There's no way he would have been there. Like the dive team were like, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, so then the police, like the investigators, they were like, well, maybe there's this big ravine. Maybe he was stuck in the ravine and then the creek bed filled up and it washed his body downstream.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because it's such a...
deep.
Heavy flow.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
like basically at the Guadalupe River. Like you just flow down.
like Niagara
Texas.
Falls. I don't know. Is that
So it's logical. Like that could happen. Like you stuck on shore, then the creek rises, and so you're washed down to
I mean,
shore,
it had to
right?
pretty much rise pretty high. Right?
Real high,
Yeah, like,
from 3 feet. But his belongings, Alonzo still had his wallet on him, things in his pocket, a bandana, and in his wallet, his driver's license, fine. Movie
Nothing's
card,
wet.
fine. Wallet, fine. Handkerchief, fine. There's paper, paycheck stubs in his wallet. Ink wouldn't run through. Like, if anything, if paper was in water,
Yeah.
you'd be able to know. Remember Brian Laundrie's letter?
Yes.
Or, yeah, it was a letter,
His
notebook.
notebook in the wet
Couldn't
bag.
even tell.
Yeah.
All of his stuff. And so on this documentary, the mom pulls it out. She's like, look, this is his wallet. Fine. His movie card. Like, all the things that water would damage
Yes.
was not damaged. So, is it sus or is it sus?
It's complete sus.
It's sus. So, we have 2 WTFs.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck happened to Alonzo Brooks? And then where the fuck was his body until May 1st?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes.
I think we're not rated G anymore.
No. That was just for 1 minute.
So here's there's theories, as there always are,
Yeah.
right? People like us, they're like, what if this happened? So what are you thinking right now? Like, what's just in your mind?
I'm thinking whoever he was fighting with, they like took him and like roughed him up, and then they just probably beat the crap out of him, and then they ended up killing him, and then they knew people were looking for him, and then they kept him wherever, and then once they knew probably somebody had to end with the police. I don't know. And then he was like, "Oh, they're done searching. Let's just go dump him out there." And they dumped him and they left or something. Or maybe the
Yeah.
owner or the person on the 4-wheeler or something.
You're getting so good at this.
Because I'm in WIB, Waco Investigations Bureau.
We just made it. Let's start a Facebook page.
Okay, I'm president.
Okay. You are president. Okay.
Which the president really doesn't do anything anyway. So
Oh, that's why you want to be
yeah,
president.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Or I could be VP. I mean, no, I'll be president.
So one theory, and this is what the cops want to believe,
Okay.
is that Alonzo got drunk and went for a walk.
Yeah. Okay.
And on that walk,
Yeah.
he got hurt and he died.
Stump. Okay. And then he crawled.
But he didn't walk towards the road
Yeah, he
where his
didn't-
boots were.
No.
So, actually, he would have needed to walk towards the road,
drop
throw
off his boots,
and then walk back all the way back behind the house to the creek bed.
but not until after the dive team was done.
May 1st. So he walked until May 1st.
Yeah, he's crawling.
He did. That's what
a
is that?
lot.
That's like cross country tour.
Well, he must be real fit.
He's real fit.
Wow.
And then one theory is, I already said that one. Okay. The most common theory is that it's straight up murder, which is what I think. It's what Caroline thinks. So some people think that people at the party, okay, so since this has gone on, people at the party says that he was hugged up with this pretty white girl.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they were loved up, they were getting close, and that other people at the parties did not
Her
like that.
ex-boyfriend was starting to get real jealous
Including-
and like, you need to get off of that black guy.
Yes.
No.
We don't go to
and-
Blacksville around here.
Yeah, and she's like, we're not together anymore. I'm with Alonzo.
Oh, I'm with Zoe.
I'm with the Zoe. And then she starts rubbing up on him, and they go into the back room, and then
They
they get
carry his ass
finished, and then they come, they start beating him up, and she's real drunk, and then she ends up going home, and she's like, oh, whatever, and then I can
solved.
see it all. I can see it all.
Okay, solved. There's
Never
the
happened to
president
me
of the
before.
WIB.
It's never happened to me before, but I'm just saying this is probably what I think.
Listen to the president of the WIB. She just solved the crime.
President WIB right here.
So there's a guy by the last name of Boone.
Oh, it sounds terrible. I'm already done. Can we leave? Podcast over.
Boone. And supposedly, now let me tell you about this town. This town doesn't have a Walmart. They don't have a McDonald's. they don't even have a Dairy Queen, which I guess maybe that's only in Texas. So it's I don't even know what's in this town. There's like nothing.
I mean, even West has more than like they even have Dairy Queen.
Yes.
And they have McDonald's now.
And a McDonald's. So
That's
this
real bad.
family is a very prominent family in LyCygne.
Whatever.
And so I'm like, what constitutes prominent? Do they have like the biggest double wide? They have the largest double wide of all the town.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Or do they have the most teeth?
Oh, that's another. Yep.
Of everybody else in the town?
Yep.
Or are they the only family that has not married a cousin?
Oh, that's a good one. No
Either
incest.
or, the Boone family
They're
are
legit
in LyCygne.
Yeah, they're basically like the Kennedys of LyCygne.
LyCygne or the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, they're the because Kardashians they like some black boys, so they
they can't be the Kardashians.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
but the Kardashians now they're into tattooed white boys. So wait, you were into black and now they're into white. Okay.
Black guys are out. Shit.
Oh yeah, black guys are out.
Out.
It's tatted up white guys.
Ooh. Okay, so obviously this Boone family was legit, and that one of the guys that Alonzo was arguing with was a member of the Boone family, and they just know how to make things disappear, go away, and they know a way of threatening people to not tell on them. So that's one theory. But the family is very much convinced that his body was not at the place that they found it for those 30-ish days. And then there are rumors in town that the body was actually kept in a freezer on the property until they thought the searches were over.
Basically what I said.
Basically what you said.
WIB.
But here's the problem:
Oh, hell.
is the did I talk about the autopsy?
No.
The autopsist ruled the body, like they said that the body, it was inconclusive. Basically, they could not determine a manner of death, and there's no way to determine if the body has been frozen for a period and then thawed back out. So they couldn't even rule in or rule out the frozen theory. They couldn't rule out. The body was like, they didn't see any other wounds. So
no
there wasn't a
wounds,
shooting, no stab wounds,
gunshot wounds.
no gunshot wounds, but there was a lot of trauma to the neck area. But according to this autopsist, you cannot tell. Was that from being outside?
Being
Was there
outside?
a stabbing? Was there shooting? It was ruled inconclusive again. So
We need Joe Scott Morgan on this.
we need Joe Scott, or do we? Did he help
Yes.
out? Okay.
He is the
I don't remember.
best. He's the one who talked all about Gavin.
Oh, okay.
He's on Nancy Grace a lot. That's how I know.
So years and years and years went by, and
Did they get
case was
another
closed.
autopsy? Or
The case was closed.
Okay.
And rumors kept coming, but they still had no answers. And then in March of 2019, they got a letter
Oh my.
from the KBI, and the case was closed, but now it's officially closed. So maybe there's steps to closing a case.
Yeah, because I read something about some other case I was looking at, and I was like, oh my gosh, this case, they're just going to close it? I think I texted you, and I was like, can't believe they're closing it. I don't know what it was about. But I guess that's like a typical procedure.
There's two closes. You close once, and then you close again officially. So
Okay.
this is they got a letter. Like, they couldn't even call them. And the family was, of course, devastated. But here comes Netflix. Oh!
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes, did a reboot of the show Unsolved Mysteries. Did you watch this reboot?
I watched a little, this is the thing, I watched a little bit of season 1.
Yeah.
And then I got pissed because they were all unsolved.
Yep.
Well, it's a lot.
I
Bitch, that's
mean,
why it's called Unsolved.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I wanted an answer.
No
I was so
answer.
mad. So then I didn't watch season 2.
Which is why we haven't done a month of Unsolved, because it pisses Caroline off.
I get so mad. I'm like,
so Netflix did the Unsolved Mystery reboot, and they happened upon the Alonzo Brooks case, and they were like, hell no, we're picking this shit up. Woo! So the family, though devastated, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, because maybe if this case goes nationwide, which it did, it's actually, I think, episode 4, and it's called No Ride. Go watch it. It's really good.
I will.
Watch them all. Season 1 was great. They had a season 2, and it was semi-great. It wasn't as great.
I think I finished with some UFO case, and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I don't even think I watched that one. It was because it wasn't about Marshall Applewhite.
Exactly.
So after this episode aired, people were obsessed. Me and Alyssa got really obsessed about it, and we were like,
really?
Yes, we did.
When?
We went back. Oh, when you turned it off, we still watched it. So
Were we together?
No.
Oh.
Hundreds and thousands of tips came in after this was
Hundreds
aired.
and thousands?
Hundreds and thousands.
Hundreds.
After hundreds came thousands of
Okay.
tips.
Okay.
3 of the hundreds and thousands were good.
Okay. And what'd they
Good
say?
enough.
To reopen the case.
Yes! And offer
Solve
a
the murder.
$100,000 reward for any information, but not only that, exhume Alonzo's body. Because what happened is that autopsy was bullshit.
I knew it.
It later on came out that he would take selfies with the bodies.
Oh, no.
And that supposedly he would instead, when he would take the organs and do things with the organs. Like, he just wasn't very
Professional.
legit, or what's the word?
Ethical?
It wasn't very ethical.
Normal?
Moral,
Moral?
So his credibility was shot,
Clearly.
as it should be. So
They got another one. I feel like they should have got another one right away when they were like, oh, we don't know what happened.
yeah,
Okay.
but 17 years later, they had another autopsy done, and this person ruled it a homicide. So on April 5th, my birthday, 2021, so literally a year and a week ago, it was ruled a homicide 17 years ago. Almost to the day, because remember he went missing on April 4th. On April 5th, 17 years later, it was ruled a homicide. And so now the family have a new sense of hope, because before they knew something had gone wrong. For all this time, they knew something had gone wrong, but nobody really co-signed on that with them.
Yeah.
They didn't
I wonder
believe.
how they ended up picking up this case.
So
Because
it
there's
used to be you would
so many.
write them in. Like you could.
Oh, because they used to have it on, like,
Yeah. Did you watch
weekly?
it? You didn't watch it growing up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So watch growing up, and they would say if you have cases, you want it, whatever. So they picked this one up, which gladly so, and that's the only reason why I knew about it.
Yeah.
We had to go to Kansas, and I looked for, but we weren't going through this town. And I even looked on the sundown town list to see if this is. I was like, well, what if this is sundown town? Because that's what came up during Jelani's days, but it wasn't.
There's a list?
There's a list in each state of like what could be sundown towns or what used to be sundown towns. So it's like basically you watch it. I'm telling you, you got to do different types of things when you drive when you're black.
Oh. Well, good thing I don't drive anywhere. And I guess I'm not black, so.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. Like the ending is like a ...
That's why I hate these cases.
So did you ever at any point think
wait, did they get another autopsy? Did they exhume him? Like what?
they exhumed him and they did the autopsy and that's how they were able to rule it as suicide. And they had
Did I miss that part?
I don't know. I don't even know if I said it.
Wait, then they rolled it as suicide?
I'm sorry. Homicide. Sorry, homicide. They ruled it a homicide, and that's why the family's happy. But what they did find is, remember I said that there was...
first it was undetermined?
Undetermined.
Okay, and then
because there was no trauma to the body, but this coroner saw all the trauma to the neck, and that the body did not decompose in the manner that it should have decomposed if it was outside in the elements.
I always am so curious how you can exhume a body and you can tell the same things from that long later, like 17 years later, 5 years later, whatever.
Every casket, they're supposed to be made to where, like, there's a lifetime on caskets. So, like, if you go to a funeral, you see this person in a casket, if you bury them and then exhume them 25 years later, they are to look the same way. The casket preserves them.
I thought you went to bones and dust.
Oh, not if they're in a casket.
Dust to dust.
Ashes to ashes.
Ashes to ashes.
That's when you get cremated.
Oh my gosh.
So
everything
these
was
caskets,
skeletal in there.
No.
I thought after
now maybe before, like
No,
when they used to get buried in a wooden box. So when people choose caskets, they choose.
Who doesn't have a casket if you're not cremated? You don't get a casket?
No, you have to have a casket.
Yeah.
But you can get there's different grades of caskets.
That's why they're so expensive.
Yeah, they are.
So skin stays on.
Yes, you look the way that you do. Your body's preserved.
Because you get embalmed.
Yes.
But I thought that you lost your skin and your base. I thought when they lift people up and excavate, whatever, elevate, levitate,
exhume,
that it's like skeletal.
It's only like that on the movie Poltergeist.
That's because I know that movie, Carol Ann.
Yo, my goodness. Caroline gets smarter each episode. If you have a tip for the Alonzo Brooks case, you can call 816-474-TIPS and you can give them tips. And if it leads to the apprehension, is that the word? Of the murderer of Alonzo Brooks, then you could get $100,000. But not even that, you can give the family peace.
I feel like you just did a late night infomercial.
Probably.
Like 1-800, call Big Boobs or whatever. Like, what did they used to do it? That's like all that would replay at night. Like,
you should have,
all those
your parents should have made your TV go off. Y'all,
I'm sure my TV was ants by
episode 3 done. We have one more next week, and me and Caroline are for the first time going to tag team the Missy Beavers show. No story.
I bet we could even play the video on there.
Oh, the
security footage.
Yeah, footage. So people have been their mouth has been watering for the Missy Beavers episode. So we're going to try to do it justice and tell you all that we know with the insight of being former Camp Gladiator. Never forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Always, always, always.
And
down
don't forget to join my WIB group. Wait.
Yep.
Waco Investigation Bureau. Yeah.
Join her group.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.